gang. So about a week ago, I uploaded that video of me going over, what's his name? Nathan Oakley, his reaction to a video that I had uploaded. So I was reacting to a reaction video. Well, another flat earther who goes by Flatzoid did a response video to that. So he's reacting to my reaction video, which makes this me reacting to a reaction video of somebody reacting to my video. South Park predicted the future. This video was really funny. We're not going to go through the whole thing. I just want to show you a couple clips because I want to finish the Nathan Oakley video today if we can. So he doesn't have a very big channel. I mean, neither do I, but my channel's at least twice as big as his is. This doesn't have very many views. One of the things he did earlier in the video was he was actually bitching about like, oh, how come his video has so many views? But what's really funny is like all the comments or most of the comments are like, yeah, you're actually the idiot here. In fact, right here, I said that he's the only person dumber than Oakley, which a lot of people have been telling me Oakley doesn't think the earth is flat. And maybe he doesn't. And maybe this guy doesn't either. I mean, with what they're saying, you'd have to either have something extremely wrong with you or be insane or be lying to say what they say. It is really that dumb. But this is really funny. I mean, Nathan Oakley is obsessed with me. He says, that would be me. How come you didn't tag me? Dude, I didn't even know you could tag people in YouTube videos. And the only reason I even know who you are now is because I've had to say your name out loud like 10 times. I literally forgot what your name was after I uploaded that video. Now, if you'll remember, several times I say I have no idea what Oakley is talking about because he just makes shit up and he thinks that's really funny. He points to one of those cases where I do that and he gives this quote and then he gives a citation for his quote. Okay, here's the part they're talking about.
I'm not shocked that it's a revelation to him because in his mind there is no perspective. He stumbled and fumbled his way around that, didn't he? The reason he stumbled and fumbled his way around is because in his mind the world of globe Earth has no perspective. It takes place in an orthographic view.
Yeah, so what could that possibly mean? If the Earth is a globe, there is no perspective. It's an orthographic view. In real time, I said I have no idea what he's talking about, and then he gave this quote and he gave a source. That link he posted, this is what it goes to, and I was reading this, I was like, what the hell is this? This is a user manual for like a digital graphics program, and it's used to make like molecular models. This is what orthographic perspective is. It's when you draw something, but you don't take into account that because parts of a 3D object are farther away, they will look, narrower or smaller. In what way does the globe model say that there is no perspective and that everything is orthographic? He's just making something up. And because he has links to user manuals for software programs on the internet, he can then just read from them and he has a rehearsed script that has nothing to do with anything. Because this is so obscure, it guarantees the chance that somebody's going to be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then somehow that makes him sound like he's the smarter one or he's right. So, I wrote this comment and funny enough, no response was ever given. Then Flatzoid goes on to say like, oh, you're making excuses not to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. Flatzoid, I have no idea who you are. But then I thought about it and something did jog my memory. He did a live stream of one of my videos and I got a notification on YouTube. And so I actually crashed the live stream for a second. So I'm going to show you a couple of clips from this because it's really funny and really sad. When I came into this live stream, people in the comment section just kept calling me like a globetard or something like that. So I wrote the comment, I quoted that, and I said, wow, you guys are kind of pieces of shit, aren't you? And that really, really hurt their feelings. I don't know if this will actually make it into the video, but multiple times they say, oh, Peter's, he's just name calling and blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, I did that in response to what you people were saying, but they just ignored that.
These windmills, though, because without any information on how are you viewing it, how far are they, where them windmills, there's like hundreds of feet of windmill block behind that horizon. But Earth curves at 8 inches per mile squared, so they might only be 4 mile out, so you've got too much windmill block.
Okay, I don't know if you could understand anything that Captain Slow there was saying, but yeah, he's saying, oh well, there's hundreds of feet of the windmill post obscured but Earth curves away at 8 inches per mile squared. So what you just said debunks the idea that the Earth is flat, because he has some garbage explanations for how the bottom part of the masts of these windmills are covered up. But what he said did nothing for the argument that Earth is flat.
Exactly. He doesn't understand what foreshortening is. Planet Peterson, this is just called simple perspective. It's foreshortening. You see wave close, windmill far. Wave look bigger, but it's not.
Okay, so his argument is that the waves on the surface of the water are covering up the bottom half of these masts. We can see the waves here. No, the waves are not. If that were the case, then we would see multiple waves. He shows some other perspectives on really short boats where that happens, but no, the flatness of that horizon is telling us that the size of the waves, even though those waves are closer than those windmill masts are not sufficient enough to cover that up. There's like hundreds of feet of windmill covered up, and it's not from waves on the surface of the water. You fucking idiot.
Peterson totally showed disrespect to this guy in the beginning when he's talking to him, and doesn't even have the balls to come and talk on her, and opens up with your pieces of shit.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about earlier. Never mind what you guys said. That never goes acknowledged. Yeah, he invited me to join the chat. I skipped this part, but I was literally on my lunch break at work. Like, I was in my classroom. So I was only here for about 10 minutes. I wasn't going to join.
Peterson, distance doesn't magically make the bottom half disappear and make the top half disappear.
That is correct. Thank you for reading that.
Yes, it's called forced perspective.
No.
You know what? I'll quickly do it with my camera quickly. This is my hand. Okay? My hand is small. Hand, go forward. Is my hand bigger than my head?
Are the waves on the surface of the water at the horizon point big enough with respect to the windmills to cover the bottom half of them up? No. So this cute little demonstration he's going to do is completely insufficient. Yeah, so if the Earth is flat, then the surface of the water is necessarily always lower than the windmills. You would need a massive wave to cover up that much of the windmills. Now, yes, they are many miles away, so something really close can cover a lot up. But you'd be able to see the shapes of those waves, and they would have to be moving and changing. Also, if the waves in the distance are able to do that, then the waves close to us would be doing that even more. But notice how in this frame, this person is clearly fairly high in elevation. So if we're raised in elevation, then how high would the waves need to be to cover up hundreds of feet of windmill mast? Your explanation cannot explain what's going on here. It's just so incredibly stupid. Is it true that foreshortening can have the effect that you're talking about? Yes. Does this image reflect that? No, not in any way. So he shows a little video clip here to try to make his point again. Let's check it out.
There we go. What's this? You can see the text there. Everything's there. Now we're just adding refraction to the mix. Does that look like you're seeing now? Can you see the bottoms of that? Oh no, just by refraction on a flat surface.
Did he just prove a point? Obviously not. I have no idea what that was a video of, but clearly the camera was very, very close to the ground looking at something far away. Now, I don't know how they got that effect. He said through diffraction or refraction. How do you increase the atmospheric refraction by just having your camera sit there? I'm pretty sure that camera was just moving probably down, and then, you were getting that blurry line. But the line blocking your view in what he was showing us was right in front of the camera. The line blocking our view of these windmills is many miles away here. They're not analogous. And notice how this line isn't fuzzy. It's sharp. So here he's going to use a clip of waves covering up a boat. Huge problem right away. Notice how the camera is right near the surface, whereas in that picture of the windmills we were looking at before, it's nowhere close to the surface.
Now Pay attention now, Peterson. This is what you're claiming for your turbines blocked by. Uh-oh. It's blocked now by Earth curve, correct?
Nope.
You know, this is what you guys do, take a snapshot.
Yeah, and you take a completely different video. I'm just going to skip through his explanation. So here we can see if we just skip around. Yep, the boat is bouncing on the waves, and so parts of it get obscured and then parts of it don't. I went on later in the comments over here to say, yeah, you're comparing a very small boat with a windmill that's hundreds of feet tall. Now, let's remind ourselves that in the comments, he was calling me a coward and saying that I won't face him. Oh, I forgot. There was a really hilarious comment. This guy called me the toothless wonder. That's actually really funny because I am missing this tooth for now. And then I live in their heads rent-free. But they're the ones making multiple videos about me. Well, I guess now I'm doing that, but they've been doing it for months. But anyways, so he calls me a coward, but listen to what he says.
By the end of the stream, you will be considered a troll and you will be banned.
So they're gonna ban me. So he like literally was sitting there saying, we're gonna ban you and you're never gonna be able to talk to us again.
Just because he's the guest of honor tonight, yeah? He's not going to be banned until after the debunking. How's that?
I think that's, yeah.
Oh, they're gonna wait until after the video to ban me. So I have no idea how banning on YouTube works. I don't know if you can make it so somebody can't see your channel. Obviously I can, or maybe I'm banned from being able to participate in his chat. I don't know. Now, it might be kind of hard to see here, but they're actually deleting and blocking all of the comments that I was making. So yeah, who's the coward, Flatzoid? Okay, we're bouncing around here, so that was old. That was like 3 months ago. Now, here's the video that he made just a couple of days ago, and I want to show you just one thing from it. I just need to point out that it's really hilarious that that's me, and this is me. There are 3 Planet Petersons on screen right now. This guy did a really excellent job. So it's JMac. He doesn't have very many subscribers, but he has this really cool video where he proves that the things that are far away from you are lower in elevation.
Parallax. Parallax.
Yep, so this is his cop-out, and it's so incredibly stupid. He goes onto Microsoft Paint to, like, draw a little thing here, so let me just explain to you what he's trying to say. Now, I can't move my camera, so I can't, like, show you the effect, but you can do this effect yourself. Parallax is a shift in perspective, so what you can do is, like, hold your finger out and close one eye. Now, don't move your finger, but open the other eye. And what you'll see is your line of sight going through your finger is now pointing to something different. He's claiming that there's a vertical parallax here. So take like, I don't know, take a level and look and then move your head up and down so that your perspective changes. And what you'll see is things in the background that were above your hand are now below your hand just by doing that. So his claim is that the way that the mountain, which is higher in elevation than where this guy's standing, got below the water line is from parallax. The reason we know that can't be true is because we have 2 bottles here and the water level is evened in them. If the guy was forcing that perspective, then the water bottles wouldn't be even. I don't know if he really is that stupid. His followers clearly are because they hear that stuff and to them it makes sense. But yeah, either insane, lying, or just plain dumb. Which one are you, Flatzoid? Okay, so we're going back to finish part 2 of the original video this all started with. But before I do that, here's a preview of the next reaction video I'm going to do.
That's what we're on. We're on the disk. It's like all the asteroid rocks were fused together and made a floor. Now you're on the rings of Saturn, and the top and bottom of Saturn is just the dome or the firmament or the electromagnetic field above and below the plane of inertia, which is just the halfway point. And this is not my...
So if you think that'll be interesting, make sure you're subscribed and maybe hit the bell too. We're about halfway through this video. We're going to keep going until I can't stand it anymore, which might not be that long.
And the stars are what the flat earthers tell us is the stars are affixed to the dome, right? And
so stereotyping fallacy. So when did I say I'm a flat earther? I didn't say stars are affixed to a dome.
Nathan, you whiny little bitch. I'm not talking to you in this video, am I? I'm talking to somebody else. But so he's just getting so offended, pretending that I'm talking to him. You're stereotyping me. I'm not talking to you. And again, this goes back to the tactic that they have, the thing that they do. You take their claim and you say, okay, well, for your claim to be true, then this is what must be the case. And then they go, whoa, 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 whoa. I never made any claims about what I believe in. I'm just telling you that the Earth is not a globe. So no, you whiny little bitch. If you take a stance, you have to take the baggage that goes with it. You're not just denying that the Earth is a globe, you make the positive claim that Earth is flat. Now, if you want to reject this notion of it, then tell me how it works. They never do that. Every single time you ask these types of flat earthers, then tell me how it works, they just completely refuse to ever do that.
When other flat earthers use the word dome. So you're going to stereotype fallacy everybody who's a flat earther while your guest is on mute. And
He's so whiny and he's just screaming.
you've got an individual there that could defend your stereotype. What asshole. Seems like you need the cards and the deck stacked in your favour to do this, don't you, Peterson? Even on your own channel. You need to stereotype the whole community with a guest on mute. Wow. This is your standard Globers. Right, like when John went on McToon's show, gets 5 seconds out after a 20-minute presentation.
Oh, so you just take me and McToon and you say that's what all Globers are like? Wow, that's a stereotype fallacy.
And immediately shut down. That's the neutral platform standard.
The North Star is right there in the middle of the dome, and the stars rotate around that North Star.
You're making this claim now, Peterson, because I don't, and you've stereotyped.
There you go. There you go. That's the only way it can work. And then you say, oh, that's your claim, not my claim. Now, again, maybe the stars don't have to be touching a dome or whatever, but there has to be a North Star and the other stars have to be moving.
Typed us, and I've corrected that stereotype. Therefore, this is now your claim. So you claim this because you are claiming it. I don't, as you stereotype me with. This is now yours. No. That's an absolute absurdity that you can't prove. What dome? Have you been and seen a dome? What's this dome you claim is made of, Peterson? You're going to prove your dome and tell us what it's made of? Now you are claiming it.
Now, if those stars are rotating, the entire dome is rotating.
All right, is it? So you think we've got a dome and it's rotating? What kind of clown shoes are you?
No, that's what you guys believe in.
Okay, which means the entire thing is doing this. You can unmute yourself whenever you want.
What, after you muted him? You mean he can't join in with the conversation unless he removes the mute that you placed on him?
His video would be about 45 seconds long if he didn't bitch and moan every 2 seconds.
I see. You just take yourself off mute there, son. I muted you a moment ago when you were in the middle of your sentence. You probably didn't realise. Stopped.
I will say this. Because the God and the Bible and the scriptures are 100% a belief, and I do have faith. I wasn't there.
Where is this going?
I don't know. But that is my stronghold. I do believe that God made the earth the way He accounted, the way it was written. He didn't make the sun. Yeah, He did. He said that He made. First of all, He says that He stretched.
What is happening right now?
What?
I don't know. He's put himself on mute in the middle of his own sentence.
Apparently that never went anywhere.
South, which is going to be towards here, where this is all spinning. No, I will not see the stars rotating around a fixed point. It's a physical impossibility.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about how if we have a spherical, half spherical dome over us, the stars can't move in around 2 central fixed points.
The basis of navigation and the almanac is derived from that exact principle. You're denying the existence of the almanac? What are you talking about?
Nobody's talking about an almanac or almanac, whatever. What are you talking about? The basis of what? The basis of navigation is based on what almanac? And there's an almanac that says if you look south, you can't see what a flat Earth tells you. Like, again, these are just words.
This guy is so stupid.
Yes, you are.
That's exactly what they do.
No, nobody does whatever you're talking about.
So if me and you were facing each other and I raised my right hand, what would that appear to you as?
So that has nothing to do with the idea.
It's the exact observational standpoint I'm speaking of. It's exactly true.
Because
Yeah, this guy's now attempting to explain to him what relative direction is. And you're wasting your time, mate. It's too stupid.
Yeah, no, even an idiot like me knows what relative perspective is, but you're not going to get the southern sky to rotate around a central point by having a dome going in one direction and just looking at it from a different point of view. Because if you were like over here looking this way, but the other person was over here looking toward the middle, you're both looking at the North Star. We know that the night sky in the southern hemisphere has its own unique constellations.
He's already arguing with you. You're trying to give him an example, and he's arguing with the example. That's how stupid he is. He's not listening to the example, he's arguing with it. Oh my God. He's a fairly standard globe believer, isn't he, basically, Peterson? Just your average numpty idiot.
you cannot have
You
cannot have a dome rotating and have two.
I'm going to interrupt you and make sure you address my straw man. That's what he's doing. But this is an open invitation to Planet Peterson to come here and prove a globe. And everything you use to prove it, I will suggest in advance that every single claim you use will require a flat plane.
Wow, okay, yeah, you can make that empty assertion if you want. I don't plan on doing that, Nathan. That would be unethical. That would be like a gladiator fighting a baby to the death.
Go ahead, John.
Yes, and the celestial dome that he's talking about right now, the star movement is part of the celestial sphere, and that is what he bases his belief that he has a model in. So what is he doing, debunking himself?
How is that debunking myself? I don't believe in a celestial sphere. The Earth is rotating, and so the night sky's rotation is an illusion.
Yes, he is. If that was addressed to him, if that was addressed to him, that's so far over his head it's untrue. Hopefully that permeated with the audience, John. Absolutely correct. Go ahead, Adam.
He's going to need a flat plane, isn't he, to formulate that celestial sphere to then presuppose that it's actually the ground that's bending as opposed to the elevation angles that is measured.
Perfect.
In what way did that make any sense? In order to think that there's a celestial sphere, I need to assume that the ground is flat. These people are so stupid.
Now you've had it. If you were watching Phase 2, John gave the explanation, then you had Adam tell you we need a flat Earth for it, after the explanation. We get into places, boys. We're getting places.
No, you don't.
Okay. Does
2 points of observation underneath it?
No.
We can have 2 points of observation underneath the dome.
Does this gear rotate around two central points?
A singular central point, but based on your perspective. Like if I said I saw a 6 and you were standing on the other side of it, you say...
Yeah, so the guy I'm talking to here is just so unbelievably dumb. I kind of already went over this, but two people on opposite sides of that spinning middle point looking at it, one is not looking north and the other looking south.
That's what I'm telling you.
So that has absolutely nothing to do with
it.
It
has everything to do with it.
Does
you're looking at a
gear
6 and a 9 in this?
Does this gear
mute guest second time?
However, I said that 6 point was a 6.
Stop. It's because
so why do you get to interrupt me?
Stop making claims that I might have to respond to. I'm not going to listen. La la la. Stop talking. Only respond to my straw man claims. If you don't, you'll be muted. This is the standard.
And get to mute me. I'm speaking and you interrupt me. But it's like a one-way street here. It's almost like you have a...
Yeah, I'm asking him questions that he's not even attempting to answer.
What a coward zealot belief that he needs to defend. Yeah, it's just like that, isn't it? Yeah, we know. We're on your side in this regard. He's a coward. A complete coward.
The stars rotate in one direction in the southern hemisphere. They rotate in the opposite direction.
Yep, and there's nothing in the flat Earth model that could possibly explain this. Now he's going to say they go from east to west or west to east or whatever, but no, clockwise is not the same as counterclockwise, and this can't happen if the Earth is flat. It cannot. I mean, just the fact that two people facing south in the southern hemisphere still look at the same thing, that's physically impossible too.
No, they don't. All of the stars rise in the east and set in the west.
Yep. So is clockwise the same as counterclockwise? No. So how is that possible?
Say it with me, you complete bonehead. No, they don't. You are so stupid.
You know, he doesn't seem to be using the word they appear to do so. He seems to sound like to me that he thinks they're actually doing that.
No, it's an illusion caused by Earth's rotation. Now, Earth only rotates in one direction, not two directions. But the effect, that's not possible unless the Earth is a globe.
His guest tried to educate him and say, look, if I lift up my hand and I'm facing one direction and you're looking at me, he then interrupted him and told him he was wrong. That's the problem with Dunning-Kruger.
He's like actually hysterical at this point. I think he might actually be ejaculating.
This is pure Dunning-Kruger. He thinks he knows better.
Perspective cannot make this have two central points of rotation.
There we go.
Have you heard of the double slit experiment? That has
the double slit.
Whoa, why aren't you addressing what he's just said? Oh, disappointing from the flat earther.
Oh, even
he's
Nathan doesn't.
And affirming the consequent logical fallacy. Identify the fallacy and then take it apart. Just let's see if my panel do better than you.
Oh, he's going to open it up to his group. Yeah, so if the Earth were flat, then what we would see with the stars is, like, the farther you go south, they would just simply go across like that. It would be like what we see at the equator. You can kind of see it with this picture right here. But instead, no. Two central points of rotation.
Did anybody else do a better job of taking apart what he just claimed?
Oh, this will be funny.
If we have 2 points of rotation in the sky, the Earth must be a ball. We do have 2 points of rotation in the sky, therefore the Earth is a ball.
Perfect. So it's an
okay.
In the consequent formal logic.
Right, affirming the consequent. So, yeah, maybe the way it's formulated, that's what I did. But here's the thing that these dumbasses don't realize. When you tell somebody that's a logical fallacy, that doesn't mean that what you're saying is false. Let's do an example. If it's raining outside, I would get wet. I'm wet, therefore it's raining outside. There, I affirmed the consequent instead of the antecedent. But does me being wet mean that it can't be raining outside? No, that's still an excellent explanation for why you are wet. It's just that it doesn't logically or necessarily follow. The conclusion is not guaranteed by the premises because you flipped them. So literally all you can do is rearrange this. The night sky would rotate around two fixed points if the Earth were a globe. The night sky does that, therefore Earth is a globe. But then they would probably say that's begging the question. So these morons don't realize that evidence isn't an argument, and an argument isn't evidence. And even if you construct an argument based on evidence, sort of backwards in this fallacious way, that doesn't mean that what you're saying is false. And again, they have zero explanation. Notice, they didn't try to explain how it works if the Earth is flat. They just said, oh, well, you formulated your argument incorrectly, and then moved on.
Fallacy based on an antipodal presupposition. The antipodal presupposition is if I am standing on a ball with antipodal positioning, that would be to say somebody dangling off the bottom of the ball with their feet pointing towards mine. If I assume Earth is in that way, antipodal positioning, then I will see stars moving in opposite directions, even though they don't, and he's wrong and stupid, and is affirming the consequent with a stupid idiot idea that he can't affirm the consequent with. He can't even produce a proper fallacy. He's that dumb. Anyway, if P, Earth ball, antipodal presupposition, then Q, star rotation, antipodal positioning observed. Antipodal star rotation, opposite direction observed. Wrong. Therefore, Earth has antipodal positioning.
No, it's not wrong. That is what we observe.
It is garbage affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy based on a presupposition of a antipodal positioning system that he...
Yep. Then give evidence or an argument or a structure or a model that can accurately describe what it is we're seeing. My model, no matter how fallacious you think the argument for it is constructed, the model does reproduce exactly what we would see. Just literally stand up and spin in a circle, look up, and then keep spinning in the same direction and look down, and you'll notice that the phenomenon of what we observe with the stars in the night sky is mirrored by that.
Before we move to the double slit, though, where is his plane of reference for describing rotation on a ball?
What does that mean? Where's my plane of reference for the ball? What are you talking about?
Okay, so what John's saying, just so it's fully understood by everybody, if you're going to describe... Where's my mouse gone? If you're going to describe antipodal positioning in the first instance as the begging the question if P statement in the affirming the consequent form or logical fallacy that...
So you also can't even form arguments, because if we start off with a premise P, we have to beg the question to have the first premise P. Like, you can't do anything with these idiots.
Just used. Then you're going to need a plane of reference to describe the axis in the first instance. So you're not going to get an objection from Adam or QE in this instance because the opponent has actually done that. It's not us inferring that he is going to use an axial description. He did. Therefore, you're going to need a flat earth for that.
How does that make any sense? You don't need to assume a flat earth or have a flat plane of reference to describe the way the stars in the sky move. You don't need that.
Well, to describe the rotation of the stars with respect to rotation, you need a plane of reference 90 degrees to that axis. Okay,
so I mean, for the North Star, or the there's no South Star, but like the South Pole of geographic South Pole going straight up, sure, that's not assuming a flat plane.
He doesn't have that on a sphere.
And it's not required. Also, the geometry of the stars doesn't match a flat Earth at all. I wrote about this in my book. I actually did the math. In this example, I'm actually talking about the sun, but we can use the North Star. So the light from the North Star, that light comes to us parallel. So for the geometry of a sphere, no matter where you are, the angle that object makes, and in this case, it's an object above the North Pole, the geographic North Pole of the Earth, and that's where the North Star is. No matter where you are on the surface of the Earth, the angle that object creates matches your latitude. We just create a tangent line. Now, we don't have to assume a flat plane for this, because that angle is just created with the incoming angle and the ground. The ground doesn't have to have any dimension. It can literally be a point. You can make an angle out of that. And this perfectly matches. At the equator, you can't see the North Star, except maybe like on really weird conditions. In the southern hemisphere, you can't see the North Star. And again, the angle the North Star makes always perfectly matches your latitude. If the Earth were flat, then again, I did this with the sun, but we can pretend it's the North Star. But the angle it makes, that there will be a linear relationship with this, and you can do the math. I actually did do the math on this. If you set it at the equator and like 10 degrees latitude, that's where you use those angles to make predictions about, okay, well, now if I move this distance away from that point, what angle will the sun make in the night sky, or in the daytime sky? Once you get to 70 degrees latitude, you're already at an error of 100%. So this is mathematically and demonstrably impossible. Fucking idiots.
So to describe the axis in the first instance, he needs a horizontal plane of reference to give him 90 degrees too.
No, you don't. That tangent line is imaginary. It doesn't really exist. But really, you just need the incoming, and then the ground, the incoming light or whatever, and then the ground right below you. That's all you need.
He's going to need a flat earth for this. begging the question, incorrect Q statement with opposite directions of rotation. I mean, it's a cluster, you know what, isn't it?
You just want to keep cutting me off. Everything has to do with perspective.
I've only done that when you've said something incorrect.
Fine, whatever. So let me...
Oh, is that a reasonable standard, is it, Mr. P?
Yes, it is reasonable.
You only stop people with a mute button when they say something incorrect?
Yes.
I see. That seems reasonable to you, does it? So, as someone's making a claim here on Flat Earth Debate, and every word that they say is wrong, we shouldn't let them make their claim?
No. So, just because I think what you're saying is wrong doesn't mean you can't, like, make an argument. So, again, the way I put that, you could make that argument. But this guy's arguments, the problem is that they aren't even internally consistent. That's really the problem. And then the other stuff, he says, like, what about the double slit experiment? That's a non sequitur, right? So that's why
They never get to the end of their claim. The very thing I'm criticised for doing, even though I don't do it. No. Besides the fact that that does not happen here, it's only reasonable to at least hear.
Why he talks about himself so much in his dumb little platform as if I'm there, as if I want to be there. He's taking personal offense to all of this.
Yeah. What?
And like he's defending himself in the face of, I'm not talking to you, dummy.
Opponent has to challenge you with as a claim in the first instance before cutting them off and saying they're wrong. What wrong about if you turn around things seem to go the other way? No, he's not wrong. You're so Dunning-Kruger that you assume...
No, that is wrong. No, that's 100% wrong. If we were watching my dome example, it's going like this. If I'm over here looking towards north and watching it spin this way, and I go to the other side, and I look there and I see it spinning that way, we're both seeing it spin in the same direction. That's true if the Earth is flat. That's true if the Earth is a globe. Everybody looking north sees that night sky rotate in one direction. You fucking idiot.
The flat Earth is wrong as you Google that which you do not know. Oh my God.
Ask you this. If I were to take a flashlight and I hold it directly against the wall or a countertop, and then I raise it up just a little bit, the surface area that light covers is going to be relative.
What does this have to do with the double slit experiment?
To the size of the flashlight itself. Is that correct or false?
Relative to the size of the flashlight? Kind of.
The lens of the flashlight.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. The shape of
kind
the
of,
lens
yeah.
of the flashlight.
Okay, so it's yes or no? Yeah, kind of, yeah. Okay, good. So we got something going. So now if you...
Yeah, so if you pull a flashlight away, the cone of light covers a greater area.
You pull the flashlight further away, does it cover a wider range of that surface of the countertop or not?
This proves that it can never be nighttime on a flat Earth.
Why is he getting an agreement ladder on this? I don't understand. I'll have to see where this goes.
It does, right. Okay, awesome. We're on
the sun a flashlight?
We have common ground. Of course it is. It's something that emits light.
Oh, that's a baseless assertion. That's a claim. You're going to back it up? Are they going to complain that he's begging the question here?
Right
is it
on.
A flash? Is it a flashlight?
Does it emit light?
The question is, does it emit light in all directions? And it does.
Right. It emits light, period.
It emits light in all directions.
So is this a red herring to take him away from the example that hasn't come yet? I don't really follow. This is a bit broken because I didn't fully get the flat earther's claim yet. Did anybody else? Am I just missing?
Because the flat earther does not know what the hell he's doing.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Well, what direction is the Earth from the sun?
What direction is the Earth? There's no such thing as what direction is the Earth from the sun.
Well, I mean,
you could say it's horizontal from it.
Model, you've got an axial tilt.
Yeah, it's horizontal from its axis of rotation.
It points towards it,
perpendicular,
like bowing to the sun.
But it's always moving.
So, again, this seems like you don't know your own rhetoric. I mean, I wouldn't comport with the idea of a heliocentric motion without completely qualifying my question in regards to how I'm asking you about the direction of the tilt of the axis that will need a flat plane to acquire in your heliocentric model. That flat earther hasn't done that. But there we go.
You could say it's horizontal from it, but there's no direction. So
what? Okay, how are you going to get that from a sphere?
The sun.
What? What do you mean? The Earth you can build a scale model of a solar system and just see how that works.
Emits light in all directions, which means if the sun is above us and emitting light in all directions, its light goes absolutely everywhere, including up and down and left, right, which means the light from that sun is going to hit every part of the Earth, which means nighttime is physically impossible.
I don't know what they're going to say, but
flat Earth.
Affirming the consequent number 2.
Oh my god. These fucking idiots.
Anybody want to break this one down?
If we have night and day, it must be caused by obstruction because the surface is spherical. You do have night and day.
Yeah, I actually never said that. So they're formulating a globe argument, but I was talking about how it's impossible if the Earth is flat.
The Earth is a sphere because on a flat Earth, the light would fill everywhere. That's kind of, it's 2 in 1. He's trying to build both his own assumption and in the same logic give a disproof with a straw man against flat Earth.
It's not a straw man.
Spot on. So he's taking, if Earth's a sphere...
It's not a straw man. If the sun is above us and emitting light in all directions, that light would cover the entire planet. That's not a straw man. The only thing they're going to say is, that's not our claim, because we don't make a claim.
Then we'll have a blockage to the sun. He's already claimed it with sunsets, even though he didn't qualify it. Baseless assertion. He's now working on the premise that everyone accepts his baseless assertion that the sun's being blocked by the horizon when he describes sunsets about 3 minutes.
No, it's just whether or not my description is consistent, whether or not the model can connect multiple different phenomena, and it can. A spherical Earth that is going around the sun and spinning would cause the effects that we see at night. It would cause sunsets to occur, whereas your model can't explain any of those things because it contradicts itself, and it contradicts reality because the sun doesn't do this. It doesn't shrink. A sun above the Earth cannot go below the horizon. None of these things can work. You can't get the southern night sky rotating around a central point. It can't happen. There's like 3 minutes left, but I'm so done with this whiny little bitch idiot. So we're gonna call it there. I have no idea if him and Flatzoid or whatever are gonna make more videos. I could keep reacting and just get many tens of thousands of views, but these people are so fucking stupid that it's not really all that funny, and it's not really all that worth it, and it just doesn't actually seem very, not that ethical's the right word, but like, you know how the History Channel used to be really good? It was like, 15, 20 years ago, and now it's literally nothing but reruns of Ancient Aliens and Pawn Stars. So I could do the equivalent of that, but I don't plan on doing it. So like I said, for the next reaction video, if you think that that's going to be interesting or funny or entertaining or cringe or probably all of the above, then come back to check that out. I'll see you all soon.